troopresource.org, trying to put 1,000 skills into every troop's backpack.
Okay, so welcome everybody to the Troop Resource Show. Tonight our topic is STEM, and we have with us, of course, Randy, the man, Hardy.
Hey everybody out there in TV land.
And we have me, Scott Newman. We also have Steve Perrone with us.
Good evening.
And tonight we have special guests, Arland Hotchkiss. He is from Troop 542. Welcome, Arland.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good. So tell us about STEM, what actually is STEM, and...
What actually stands for Scouts Tasting Every Meat, right? It's a culinary experience that I came up with. Yes.
I think it's...
Well, I am Chef Boyardee, after all.
That's right. So there's going to be, what, scrapple, bacon, hamburger, chicken?
Hamburger.
So, all seriousness aside, Arland,
yes?
Tell us a little bit about STEM and the Scouts.
It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math.
Get out of here.
And it's been around since the beginning because we have merit badges that in 1910, when scouting started in this country, were STEM merit badges. And even things like pioneering or camping or canoeing have STEM or science and technology components to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me how canoeing has...
Well, the oar is made out of wood, which was a stem on a tree. So that's how that works.
So you think of paddling a canoe, if you actually use the paddle as a fulcrum, then you can actually draw the water either with you or away from you, and that's a simple kind of machine, basically, as far as how to move things.
Yeah, that's right. So the center of the canoe would be the fulcrum, and then if you do a J stroke, you're pushing the fulcrum one direction, or you're not pushing the fulcrum, you're actually pushing the tail end of the lever, one direction,
yeah.
And then if you do a C stroke, you're pushing the lever the other way.
Direction, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what else?
So recently, I guess we've had a number of initiatives that have been designed to increase the number of people going into STEM fields or science and technology, engineering, math fields as a career option. And so in 2010, with a big grant from ExxonMobil, Scouting started something called the NOVA Awards program, which is kind of a combination of science, technology, engineering, math, and Scouting. And so NOVA Awards were created and Supernova Awards were also created. And so these are things that are electives, but they go along with either the typical advancements or merit badge program. And NOVA Awards are kind of like merit badges because you have to have prerequisite merit badges to start a NOVA Award. And then you complete that and you get a special patch that's a little bigger, a little fancier than a merit badge, and actually hangs in your temporary patch spot. And if you get one, you get this nice star-shaped patch. If you get more than one, you get these little triangular pins called pie pins. Not the pie that you would eat, but you know.
I was going to say Nova stands for Nosh.
One track mind. But like the symbol pi, and so that just decorates the patch, and then when you earn 2 or 3 of these NOVA Awards, then you can start on a Supernova Award, which is actually a medal that is named after different famous scientists or astronauts. And so then you can, after you earn those, you can get bigger and bigger NOVA Awards. I don't know if anybody's ever earned all the different NOVA Awards, but they go along with the different programs in scouting, whether it be Cub Scout or Scouts BSA or venturing. And so there are different NOVA Awards that are part of each of those programs. But it used to be just 4 for each program. So one would be a science one would be a technology one would be engineering, another for math. But now I think for Cub Scouts, they've got 8 different NOVA Awards. And in Scouts BSA, there's 6. I think there's still just 4 in the venturing program.
I seem to remember, and I haven't been a den leader for a long, long time, but there was a scout patch. I think it was Cub Scout. It was a compass with the little triangles on it. Was that Cubs or is that Boy Scouts? Does anybody remember?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm wondering whether it's the same kind of thing. You said it's got little diamonds that you put
Well,
on
it has triangles. That
Oh,
you put
triangles,
on it.
okay.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's kind of ends
I
of
think
this.
you're thinking of the various levels of tiger, bear that form a triangular badge.
No. This was
Something-
a patch.
like a
It
compass.
would hang off of, I believe it was off of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get certain other awards, you'd get the little
The pins put
pin
on.
for the compass point.
Maybe.
Is this like the time you saw Bigfoot?
You know, I did see
I know you saw Bigfoot.
I did. And it was here in Springfield, as a matter of fact.
By the way, it's nosh, hors d'oeuvres, victuals, appetizers. That's what we do.
So I was driving down Springfield Road, and there was something that was a mix between a kangaroo and a dog that went over the street. That's not me ringing, unless you're ringing.
But anyway, Scott, getting back to your question, then in 2014, a program called STEM Scouts started. And so that's another initiative that's a completely co-educational program that has 3 different programs to it. One that goes along with elementary school, another one middle school, and also for high school. And that started in Knoxville, Tennessee, as an initiative to have something that's a completely Scouts-oriented program as far as the mission of Scouting, but also a program to develop Scouts into STEM professionals eventually. And so that piloted in Knoxville, Tennessee in 2014, was expanded to 12 councils nationwide in 2015, and it's expanded since then. It's still a national pilot program, so it's not a permanent part of Scouting yet, but it's something that has really taken off. In our council here, we have 1 lab. The units are called labs that just started last year.
Okay. Now talk to me about the Nova for just a
Okay.
moment. If a scout were interested in that, that's separate from merit badges.
It is.
Anything we do at Merit Badge College?
Yes.
Is there a Nova
Yes.
element?
We do offer a Nova award at each one, and we alternate, and we've, in the 4 years that we've been offering them, we've had a different one, and they have some pretty crazy names. Do you remember some of the names of those?
Well,
Nova
one's
awards?
shoot or one's launch.
Lamb, yeah, they
Launch, I remember
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
and it's something to do with one of them was
There's
math.
one, forget
I
what
had to
this.
skip lunch today.
There's one called Start Your Engines.
Yeah, start your
Yeah.
engines was one. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to start your engine.
And I think
and
the
go.
other one for math is crunch for crunching
Crunch.
numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
could crunch on some nosh.
No bad. Yeah, so we do offer one each year.
So what are we offering this year in the next Merit Badge? Do you remember?
Jason's teaching it, Jason Porter, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure which
I
one.
think it might be shoot.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah, it is. It is shoot.
Okay. And that's not riflery. What is shoot?
Well, it goes along with projectiles.
I think he was
It
asking
is.
me,
Oh,
Arland.
Sorry.
But you can go ahead and answer, Arland, because I got nothing.
Shoot.
Shoot. Yeah, we all know what shoot means, right? So, well, you know what? I just noticed on camera 1, we also have Zach here, who is an Eagle Scout. Say hi, Zach.
Hello.
Good. I didn't know you were on camera. Did you know you were on camera?
No.
We
I
are
did not.
now.
Thanks for ruining it,
Building
Scott.
this car.
He was my best grip working behind the
Key
scenes.
grip.
Key grip.
Key grip.
Key grip.
It's best boy.
Yes.
And
Don't
key
ever
grip.
correct me again, Steve.
You're missing some pieces.
Arlen, can we go back to that?
That I've been told that many times, Zach. Many times I've been
unit,
told I'm missing a piece.
that we have in Cradle of Liberty.
Yes. the STEM Scouts
The
unit.
STEM Scouts, yeah. Now, it's not a traditional
it's
scouting with camping and stuff. It's not even uniform, is it?
It has a T-shirt,
Okay.
and they recommend that you have a lab coat for the exercises that they do. They're called modules that involve chemistry or something where things might get messy. But there's no formal uniform like we would consider for Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts or Scouts BSA now and venturing. So it's just a T-shirt.
And it's young ladies, young men.
Yep. Completely co-educational.
Co-educational. And there wouldn't be the traditional advancement then.
There is.
There is some
Each
advancement.
module has a badge that you can earn as long as you complete all the requirements and components of it, but it's not a traditional rank advancement like you would have for tenderfoot, first class, or bear or wolf in the Cubs. It's something where you get an electronic badge. Everything is digital, and if you finish all of the things in the module, you get an electronic badge. and you keep an electronic notebook as far as all the things that you are going to be doing.
Do
in
that
the
on your
lab.
phone or a laptop? Or what?
Laptops usually.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is completely digital, so you could have it on your smart device as well.
So you're doing this in a lab in a
Yes.
school generally.
Yeah.
And who is leading the class?
There's the position that would be equivalent to a scoutmaster is called a lab manager, and then there are youth leadership positions where the equivalent to like a senior patrol leader is called the program manager, and there's an assistant program manager, and then there are technicians that are doing the work, and then there. Basically a small group. It's usually the labs are not more than 10 to 15 of these STEM scouts, and maybe 2 or 3 lab managers as far as the adults.
And how long are the modules that they're taking?
Modules are generally 4 to 6 weeks, and there's usually 5 or 6 of them during the school year. The year follows the school year, so you usually start in September and finish in May, June.
So there's a syllabus for the
Yep, and a leader's guide.
The leader's guide.
And the
Now,
nice
so sorry, just for a second. Now, was this happening in school?
after school.
After school. Okay, because I know that schools are very picky about.
Correct.
Okay, so it's an after
But
school
it's
program.
often in the school building, and the one that started in our council is at Perkiomen Valley Middle School.
Okay, that's where we're doing the
American.
American
Exactly.
College this year.
So it's a great location. They already had the equipment there as far as maker space, and they have a great robotics team that they're already used to doing these
They
things.
have maker space.
Yep, they've got a great shop as far as working on anything from things you would put in a robot to cars, and
Right.
all the things facility-wise are there. They wanted something else to do when it's not in season for the robotics team, so they
Okay.
thought this would be a great idea.
It is a great idea.
I'm confused.
Wait,
Not
wait,
Randy.
wait, really?
I'm confused. The kids get up in the morning. They get on a bus. They go to school, Perkiomen Middle School. They go to class, right? Then after all their classes are done, this STEM is held right in the school. Why do they need this syllabus? I don't get it.
It's not a syllabus. It's a silly bus. See, they get to be silly after school.
But it doesn't meet until 5:30, so I have to go home and then come back.
Okay, so that's the point of this syllabus. I get it. I get it now. I'm keeping you on your toes, aren't I? Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome because, frankly, I've been trying to find out about maker groups in the area because Zach and I both purchased Raspberry Pis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not the kind you can eat.
Oh, darn.
so,
I prefer cherry.
so that'd be an Arduino for you. But I'm not exactly certain how to get started with it. And so I'm looking for a maker lab. I know there's one in Philadelphia down in Grays Ferry, but I just can't get there. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And there are a number of high schools that have those kinds of facilities. This is the first one to start in Philadelphia because I guess the cost is a factor, and that's one thing that's kind of good or bad for this program because it costs everybody $200 a year to participate. But it's a completely canned program, so for that $200 per year, it covers everything from the program and all of the equipment, all the supplies. All you have to do is basically have your registration fee paid for the year, and the supplies are ordered as soon as you start a module. They come, automatic shipments, and it's all completely computer organized as far as the ordering and shipping. And you just get the stuff in a tub of the materials, and you get it out, and you have it all ready to go. You don't have to reorder anything, and
That is awesome.
It is very good.
absolutely
And so
awesome.
for that $200, it covers a lot of materials that if you went out and bought them yourself, it might cost more than that.
So let's say we've got Scouts in Troop 512 here in Springfield,
Yeah.
and we want to get them involved in
Right.
one of these programs. Perkiomen East is way far away
is.
from here.
Yes.
Take the syllabus.
Take the silly bus up. But on a serious note, we'll take the serious bus for a moment. How would we get a program like this going?
So you would just apply. It's something where you would see the council as far as, setting up an application. It's just like starting any new unit in scouting. And so you would, the only other thing besides the $200 per year for the STEM scouts is you would have to pay $40 per year to charter a new unit.
Okay. Interesting. So it's a STEM unit.
Yeah. It's a lab, not a troop or a pack or a crew. So it's called a lab.
And is it assigned a unit number?
Yes, and I think the one in Perkiomen Valley, they call it a Lab 2001. I'm not sure exactly the significance of that, but yeah. So it is assigned a number.
Be like
I'm
Space
assuming it was
Odyssey
an odyssey to
2001.
get that number.
It might have been. Yeah.
It probably was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in space or if it was in Perkiomen Valley.
Now he's catching on. He's a little slow, Scott. I don't know how he teaches these kids.
So our lab masters, what?
Manager.
Manager? Lab
Yes,
manager.
yes.
Would this be a scout leader or could it be a
Well,
parent?
interestingly enough, the main guy who got this started in Perkiomen Valley is actually the principal of the middle school.
Okay.
And so he thought this would be a good idea. There is one other lab manager there who happens to work for Dow Chemical, which is right next door.
Right.
And there's an assistant lab manager that works for Lockheed Martin. So it's typically people that have either some kind of educational or science type career.
And they'd have to go through all the youth protection, security checks,
like
all that
any
kind of
other
stuff.
adult leader, they'd have to fill out the application and do the YPT and background checks and things like that.
That we're good with, Scott. It's that technical part that kind of rules us out, the Lockheed Martin Dow Chemical.
But the interesting
It's going to disqualify us.
The interesting thing is that most of the programs really are dependent on parent involvement. It's not like your typical troop meetings where parents drop off and you don't see them again. Here, they really encourage the parents to stay and help out with the exercises, particularly if they have an interest in the STEM field.
Okay, so let's say that, for example, do you know what they are doing up in Perkiomen? For instance, a Lockheed Martin, are they teaching them how to build planes? Are they teaching
So there's a curriculum. Each year the curriculum is different. And so I'm not sure exactly what module they're in at this point, but I know they started out with a robotics module. That's usually the first one of the year for middle school. They also had a module on an mobile app design program, which was actually piloted here by our STEM committee at Cobbs Creek a year ago. And so it's something where you use MIT App Inventor. It's just a free program that you can design any kind of app that you would put on your smart device. So that's a module in the STEM Scouts program. They also have a module that they did on optics or the kind of physics of light. And
Sure.
They use lasers and prisms and that sort of thing.
angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Refraction and
Right.
total internal reflection. It's a really great lab where they have these 2-liter bottles of water and you can shine a laser through it and see how it bends and that sort of thing. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome stuff.
And then they have I think they finished the year off with a module on drones and how to fly drones and the kind of physics of aviation and how that works and everything.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Totally cool. So how do we get one started here?
Yeah.
Wait, I guess it's recruit parents, right?
Yes, that's the main thing, but also
and
to
a
find the
location,
location.
school,
yeah,
yeah.
it would be helpful to have a location or some kind of
they
lab
have a
or
lab.
something like that. It isn't absolutely necessary. Like I said, this is the first one in our council, but Garden State Council across the river has had one for a few years, and I visited one when we were considering it here in this council. They actually had the lab meeting in a VFW post because it had a big room,
Right.
and tables and chairs. And they, like I said, this program contains everything in the kits that come with each module that you need. So you really don't have to have a lab as long as you have tables and a sink and maybe a kitchen area for food,
Sorry.
of course.
Are
Then you're really good to go.
I was just chuckling because I was thinking about VFWs and the ones that I've been in, and that'd be fine with me.
Because of the adult beverages.
The adult beverages. But I don't think, I just can't imagine having it in a VFW. But
Well-
you know what? Any place that
As long as you have the
Yeah.
space.
Well, I guess what I was thinking there is because with schools, you've got when you hear labs, I think Bunsen burners and
Right.
things of that nature are really a lab space.
Well,
but
and this one that has a maker space. So the first pictures I saw of them doing the robotics, they were in the kind of lab that has all the maker
Right,
space.
right.
So it's
Oh,
very
that's
easy for
just
them to build things.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, some of the maker space that I've heard about has got big equipment like
It does.
metal lathes
Yeah.
and
Laser cutters.
laser cutters and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of makerspace, hurry up, Zach.
Well, you're missing like half of the kit. So.
he's missing.
I'm
more
doing
than
this
half
right
the
now.
kit.
Look at my hands.
Talk about the
moving right
model, not about Randy.
Now, we have a STEM center up at Russell Falls, don't we?
We do, yes.
And what do we do there?
So that's an old dining hall, the Great Bend Dining Hall, and there they've got facilities for everything from robotics to radio. They've got a ham radio operation. They also teach engineering merit badge.
We did a show on radio, and
I do have a ham radio.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah. And they teach chemistry, they teach movie making, and a lot of the technology merit badges are taught there as far as digital technology, that sort of thing. And we're always looking to add new merit badges, but I think they have about 10 different STEM merit badges they offer in that dining hall.
Okanagan has the Science
They do,
Center too.
Yes, they have.
That
Yeah.
has been around longer than the one that we have at Resica, and that was actually built, or I think it was an old hall there that they repurposed for a STEM center at
Right.
Okanagan, and I got a big grant from
They did an amazing
Dixon,
job. It
yeah.
really looked nice when
Yeah.
I was there.
Where did they get the grant from?
From Becton Dixon, I think. It's kind of a chemical company that, I don't know if you've noticed, there's a huge liquid nitrogen tank that's kind of outside of
Yes, yes.
Okanagan, and so that's something that I think the funding all comes from the Becton Dixon grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go Bexton Dixon.
So we don't have any major funding that is supporting the Resica Falls STEM Center, but we've been able to get some small funding from the council, and we've been able to use OA members to kind of remodel.
But if you would like to become a sponsor,
right. Exactly.
we'd like to hear from you.
Exactly. Because I know, at least with the STEM Scouts program, the original idea in our council was to fund it in the city as an after-school program for elementary schools. And we had a grant to a major corporation that wasn't approved. And so that's kind of held that back at this point.
Do you know about the Maker building in Grace Ferry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But, it's
I do.
it's hard for, at least in the city, for people to be able to afford $200 a year. So that's why
Right.
we had applied for
Right.
a major grant to fund the after-school programs.
Right. Huh. Maybe you could do a camper ship. It'd be a stemmer ship.
You'd need some seed money.
Stem those jokes.
I'll nip it in the bud. Actually, I work right across the river from the maker site.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Abrams and Cancer Center's right on the other side of Grace Ferry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
34th
that.
Street Bridge. It's
All
right
right.
there.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Penn Innovation Center.
Okay.
I think Drexel University has a very good makerspace program there as well. So that's something.
We have
know that.
former Eagle Scout at Drexel.
Mhm.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we do. So we have
That
an
would
in.
be not former Eagle Scout.
Well,
He's an Eagle, Scout. Former
Former
Troop Fight.
Troop
512.
12.
Yeah.
Zach's a former Eagle Scout.
Yeah. That's, so awesome. So
Great discussion on STEM. I've learned an awful lot tonight.
yeah, absolutely.
Good.
So
He won't retain it. But
at least not till next time, right? All right. I think on that note, we will end the show. So thank you,
You're
everybody,
welcome.
for attending, and we will see you next time.